everyone, and welcome to Movies Are Real for the month of April. We are a week late, but we have movies to talk about. We're going to be discussing the movies that came out in April, one movie that came out in May, because we are a week late, and we saw it. We're going to discuss about the rest of the movies that are coming out in May. Not the most high quality. I hope for the best.
Says you.
Yeah, the Angry Birds movie. Really excited to talk about
I was going to say, Ryan's just getting his counter-argument for Angry Birds ready.
Yeah. There were some, actually, I'm going to say, I'm looking at April, it was actually pretty good. It's pretty good now. So let's get into it. So first week was The Jungle Book, which is a movie I had no expectations for. I think on the podcast, I became interested about it last month. This is the second, I think, Disney live action.
Yes.
Second or third?
Second. The first...
Cinderella?
No, second Jungle Book. Like
The first one came out in the 90s.
Yeah, and it was called, like, The Writers by The Jungle Book. As, like... William Shakespeare's Romeo and Juliet.
Yeah.
Not as modern as The Jungle Book. They weren't in, like, the city, and it was all a metaphor for fucking... So, yeah, this is the most modern live-action Jungle Book, starring Idris Elba, Bill Murray, Christopher Walken, Lupita Nyong'o... Ben Kingsley. Scarlett Johansson, an incredibly minor role. I didn't like her role. Really big star-studded cast that play voice actors for these CGI characters that would have been in the animated film. Yeah, this movie's fantastic. It is about a young boy who is raised by animals. It is a really old story. I feel like everyone knows about a young kid who gets raised by these animals. It's fantastic. It's fucking great. It's really, really good. The cast just brings it. Like, what's his name? The Mandarin guy who played the Mandarin in Iron Man. Ben Kingsley. I feel like Ben Kingsley has been on he's been like grabbing every piece of work he can get, and I don't think he's been great. He was doing that one movie where I believe he was playing some sort of like taxi driver, and he was learning how to drive, and it looked like a fake ass movie. It looks like that movie with Kevin Spacey and Christopher Walken, where Kevin Spacey's a cat. It doesn't look like a real movie.
What? That movie's gonna be so good.
Yeah, Ben Kingsley's been doing like almost anything, and I kind of had him in low regard, but he really does an awesome job in this movie as the Puma, and I can't remember his name. His delivery and tone is great. What's his name? Can't remember. From Pacific Rim. Idris Elba. Yeah, he plays a villain, the tiger. Shere Khan. And he's also just these voices who are just like really powerful and like demand your attention. It's really, really good. It looks incredible. Computer effects look amazing, and the scenery looks good. A lot of it is fake. Like, you look at the behind the scenes, and a lot of it's green screen, but
I mean, pretty much all of it's green screen.
Pretty much all of it.
Like,
just the kid and some hand puppets.
Yeah, they're like never on location anywhere outside, I don't think.
Yeah, I don't think so either. And then it's hard to, like, the jungle looks incredible. Looks really good.
Yeah, well, like, when my mom was talking about the trailer, she was talking to my 4-year-old niece, and she was like, yeah, I don't know how they got some of the animals to do those things. And I was like, Mom. Mom.
I'm sorry, they did not put peanut butter on the No.
Had Idris Elba in the background speaking for it.
Yeah, something, I think that this movie could have been like, where you just get these like big name actors to voice act these characters, and you don't really get much out of them, but they did a fantastic job of really embodying these animals. It's fantastic. I think it might be out of the computer-generated animal movie genre. You got Cats and Dogs with Tobey Maguire as a beagle.
Oh man,
when you compare it to that.
Don't even get me started on that movie. I won't be able to stop.
When you compare it to that, it is the best. It's really good. What do you guys?
My favorite scene in this movie has to do with the Christopher Walken scene, because I was the most pumped for him in this movie. And so they set up the scene very well, because you know the story, so you know what's coming. He gets captured by the monkeys. He's walking through this abandoned temple, and if you know that it's Christopher Walken, you're like, here comes Christopher Walken.
Oh man, he brings it.
And Mowgli,
it's so good.
Mowgli's walking around these piles of all the human treasures that King Louie has grabbed. And what item does Mowgli pick up out of the pile to introduce Christopher Walken but a cowbell? And that was my favorite part of the movie.
I didn't catch that.
It was so funny.
I remember I was sitting next to you and you were like, did he seriously just pick up a fucking cowbell?
I was like, they couldn't fucking resist.
Right before they revealed Christopher Walken as a fucking monkey.
Yeah, there aren't a lot of musical numbers as much as that. There's like 2, right, in the film, like the main film.
Yeah, it has like the 2 main songs.
The Bare Necessities and I Want to Be Like You.
Yeah.
And, oh my god, like Bill Murray and Christopher Walken. Like, we joked, I think, last time, like, Christopher Walken, is he really going to sing this fucking song? And he absolutely sings it exactly how you think it is.
So
and it's
good.
Wonderful. Absolutely wonderful.
And we were anticipating it, and because we weren't sure if they were going to go the full-on musical number route, and then when Bill Murray was full-on singing Bare Necessities, I leaned over to Ryan and I was like, you know what this means? That means Christopher Walken singing. And it made me want to watch Hairspray again and watch his duet with John Travolta.
Yeah, it's so good, and it's just a good feel-good movie. It's like, it's really Disney. Like, it's all full of wonder, and it's really great.
I remember I watched the original like the next day at a friend's house, and I forgot how different it like diverges from the end of the original, which is Mowgli. He stops Shere Khan because he, instead of how it ends, he just waves a bunch of fire in Shere Khan's face and he like runs away.
Yeah, if I remember, Shere Khan isn't as determined to kill him.
No, it's pretty much him and Kaz are both kind of after him. But in this movie, Kaz is a lot less of a villain. But at the very end of the original Jungle Book, instead of it being like, his whole thing is, I want to be in the forest forever, he sees a girl and he's like, oh, I want to be a human again.
Oh, I forgot about
She had
that.
the jar on her head,
Yeah.
right? Oh my god! I completely forgot about that.
He runs to a human girl and is like, I don't care about the woods anymore, there's girls.
That's a super weak ending. I'm really glad they didn't do that.
Yeah, I totally forgot about that.
Wow.
Yeah, I remember I was saying, I was like, oh yeah, that had a really stupid ending.
Oh, wow.
Which, like, spoilers aside, the ending of the remake is a lot better. I won't diverge, but it's not stupid
good
like that.
It's really good.
It's not, I'm abandoning my animal family because cute girl.
It's really cool because it kind of like harkens to the beginning of the film a lot. Like there's a lot of parallels between the first real sequence of the movie and the final. If you guys remember that at all?
No.
Well, it was a really cool parallel, and I was like, oh, that's cool.
I'm sure you're making a really good point right
Man,
now.
I'm so good at movies, you guys. Oh man.
But yeah, I was really surprised by it.
A sequel got confirmed with
really?
Jon Favreau.
Oh yeah, I saw that. I don't know if I
Nice.
want that, but
Well,
I'm sure it'll be
you're
good.
getting it.
I mean, I don't think I wanted that, but oh well, okay.
Maybe you'll finally get the ending where he just gives up the life he's worked for so long just because he saw a girl once who might not even be interested in him.
he doesn't want to be a wolf.
She could be a
anymore.
lesbian. He doesn't even know. He doesn't even know her. Like, jeez.
Oh man,
It's the power of love, Ryan.
Love. He's like 10.
he is. He's really young, but
He does a good performance for such a
Oh, yeah,
for
yeah,
such
he's
an
great.
unknown actor.
It's really good. Especially,
Yeah.
it's not. I can't imagine it being easy. Just
Talking
interacting
to
with
a
a bunch of
bunch of
puppets.
puppets.
Yeah, did you see the green screen?
I did.
It looks absolutely ridiculous. It's fucking hilarious.
Jon Favreau was like, "This is gonna look good. I swear, it's gonna look great."
Yeah, hats off to everyone involved with that movie because I can't even imagine how it's so good.
Yeah,
It's
they
so
delayed the other version that Andy Serkis was making by a year.
You told me, yeah.
Yeah, Andy Serkis was making one called Jungle Book Origins that has like another like star-filled cast, and they delayed that by a year.
Doesn't it have Benedict Cumberbatch in it?
Yeah, and it has a bunch of other famous people, which is weird that 2 Jungle Book movies would be made at the same time. But it got delayed, so we're all good.
Yeah. So yeah, I think we've covered that film. These next 2 movies came out. Well, one of them came out a little earlier, depending if you live in LA or whatever. But we'll start off with the weaker of the 2, Ratchet and Clank, which is the feature-length film based on the video game, the PlayStation video game, about the furry cat-like looking guy and the robot toaster he has on his back. And they go on an adventure. And this movie isn't very good.
Man,
someone who likes
kidding
Ratchet
me?
and Clank, I thought it was like by the numbers, like could have been a TV movie, really. Nothing really special. Has Paul Giamatti. Paul Giamatti's just all over the fucking place. They gave him no direction. Just give me like the most evil but annoying guy you got, and just go. I don't care. It has Sylvester Stallone, and I didn't even know it was Sylvester Stallone
Until the credits.
And usually that's a good thing, but I was like, I still don't believe you. That was Sylvester Stallone. They waste John Goodman. He's
John Goodman.
John Goodman's
He wasn't
in
playing
it.
a John Badman in that movie. He was playing a good guy.
Oh, man.
I got him.
This has been Movies Are Real.
Oh, so that's it, yeah. Oh, man. And Bella Thorne, and which
Disney
I
lady.
don't know anything about Bella Thorne.
She was in that Disney dance show.
Shake It Up?
Yeah. She's the red-haired one.
Yeah. Yeah, it's not a very good... Like, there's nothing really memorable about it. I guess there are some jokes. The best parts of the movie are cheap Easter eggs for people who like the video game.
Oh, yeah, I love that joke.
Yeah, and I thought it was nice, but I was like, this is just cheap. It's just like... Aren't you having a good time, guys? Aren't you having a good time? Remember that one time?
Remember that one time when we were in a video game?
They were expecting the audience to be already hyped at that point, so there would just be a crowd moment of, except the crowd was just us.
Yeah,
we were the only people in the theater watching
Oh, yeah, we were. We were the only people in the theater watching this movie. Did not do great, but it also didn't... It costed, like, nothing, almost. I thought because the movie looks pretty good. I'd say the expressions on Ratchet look really good. Mm-hmm. It doesn't look incredibly cheap, but yeah, they made like $20 million, and that's unbelievably cheap. Yeah, it's not. There's nothing. Really...
I mean, I think in terms of video game movies, which are pretty much universally terrible, this is probably one of the better ones.
I think it's serviceable.
It's not. I feel like it's best for little kids. It's not like a Disney family film that's going to appeal to everyone. This is a movie that pretty much is just going to appeal to kids.
And I usually hate that because I usually use that as it's usually used as a derogatory. But I think like it's not even that bad. It's just like it's simple enough, and it's not like making dumb fucking jokes like fart jokes or scatological humor or like pop culture references. It's fine. It's fine. There's like a texting joke that's in the trailer, and it's like okay, and they keep bringing it up over and over again.
There were a lot of callbacks to that. I forgot.
Yeah. They don't even it's not even as imaginative as a video game. Like one of the best, like you mentioned, Carrie, you like the part where like spoilers, they turn the villain into a sheep, and that's a thing. That's just the normal weapon in the game, and there's some other stuff.
I thought that was hilarious.
It's funny, but they don't they don't even use the source material. I feel.
So, Carrie, as someone who hasn't played the game, me and George both have. I've only played a little bit of it. George has destroyed it 1,000 times. How did you feel about this movie? Did you get what was going on, or?
Yeah, I'm not dumb. I could follow the plot of the movie.
It's very simple.
I could. I mean,
there were. I mean that in parts of like when we were like going, oh, and you were like, wait, what?
Well, obviously not, because I'm not familiar with the game at all, let alone familiar enough to get intricate Easter eggs.
That's what I'm asking you.
But I mean. Honestly, I was bored throughout most of this
It's
movie.
boring. Yeah, it's boring. It's dull. It's like, this isn't very good.
It didn't, because when did the game that the movie is like isn't it a remake of the?
It's a remake of a retelling of the first game, which came out in 2002, and there is a remake based on the movie, based on the game that came out to coincide with the movie as well.
Okay, so do you think that it's more targeted towards people who played the original game or trying to bring in a new audience?
I think I wrote a review for it, and I think it's trying to revitalize the franchise and bringing a new audience. Okay. And I think, again, I talked about it in my review, I think it is too shallow to be fan service and too unremarkable to be audience expanding. That's exactly what it is. It's like the most easiest nostalgia is I saw people on Twitter oh, Ratchet and Clank movie. I was like, did you the game is a little even the game looks better than the actual animation in the film. It's bizarre, but yeah, it's fine. It's all fine. It's fine. It's not
fine.
It's not cringeworthy, offensive. It's not like a Minions. Well, even Minions is a little bit more memorable, I'd say.
I mean, memorable in bad ways.
Sure. Actually, Despicable Me 2, I'll stand by as a good movie. Despicable Me 2 is a good movie.
Despicable Me is good.
Despicable Me is good.
Standalone, terrible.
Despicable Me is a good film. The second one I like the second one.
There's still hopes that a good video game movie will be made with the Angry Birds.
Yeah.
My hopes
and
will be realized. No, it'll be Angry Birds.
Don't you mean Warlock?
Yeah, Warlock. That's the one.
Man, I mispronounced the name one time.
And we didn't even record it. So.
Yeah, we did it though one time. I got lost.
Oh, man.
Yeah.
Way to make me feel terrible.
But the only thing that sucks is this was I might be wrong. I think one of the writers on this was on Deadpool. I might be completely wrong, but I saw that name, or maybe that name is just someone famous, and it just rang a bell. But I just thought this was the most easiest here's like, I think this is similar to The Last Airbender, which is completely different, but I was like, here's a property, make it into a movie. I'm literally handing you gold. Just fucking make it. And it's like, it's not good enough. And The Last Airbender was like, I don't even know. Like, that was a total case. Like, here is like a multi-million-dollar franchise I am giving you. And I was like, that's nice, but what if there's this?
What if we call him Ong instead?
It's not as bad as that, but it's like the most like, here's the job. Okay, we'll do it, I guess.
I mean, I think with Ratchet and Clank, a big part of it was it's an adventure, but with the movie, it just feels like their first adventure is the big thing. But in the game, they kind of like worked their way to it. I feel like there's a lot. I feel like it's too fast paced, and it tries to like get you caught up with everything, but it kind of cuts out a lot of like the things that make the game and the game's humor for the most part memorable.
Yeah.
Actually, no, I lied to you. So the writer is one of Insomniac's writers. So it is one of the writers for the video game. But
I mean, they use some of the cutscenes for the game in the movie from the movie.
No. So it's the opposite way around.
Okay.
So yeah, that's Ratchet and Clank. I wouldn't have expectations, but at least it wasn't like offensive and bad, and it's just forgettable. That's what it met my expectations. It's fine. Now let's talk about another movie, Green Room. Let's talk about Green Room. Let's talk about Patrick Stewart, Nazi. Let's talk about.
Oh man, we're just going right into it.
Yeah, we're just going in. So Green Room is a movie I was really excited about. It is a film that follows this group of kids on a road trip band tour. It is not going very well. They're in a shitty mood, and they're like, oh well, we should just give up. And then last minute, they get a gig. It's a solid gig, enough to get them through the rest of the trip if they wanted to. Unfortunately, it's for a neo-Nazi convention.
So how awkward.
They perform it, everything goes well, and then when they go back to their dressing room, they notice a murder scene. They walk into a murder scene, and they're like, well, you guys are not walking out of here. And that's the film. They saw the murder scene, and this group of neo-Nazis is like, well, we can't, no one's walking out.
They saw something they weren't supposed to see.
They weren't supposed to, yeah.
And the neo-Nazis are trying to keep it under control.
Yeah, so
it's them locked in the green room trying to get out.
Yeah, us versus them. They have no weapons. They're completely underpowered. That's something that works really well. I think we'll talk about that. But yeah, this movie is great. It is tense. I applaud it for being so human. Like, they never talk about it, but that whole thing about being young and chasing a dream or whatever, then they just die brutally. And like, there's no dramatic, like, a character just goes up and is like, boom, you're dead. Mm-hmm. It's done. It's over. And it's also, they don't really paint these characters there isn't like this character like, I want this person to die, they're fucking annoying. They might have some quirks to them. Like, they might be one might be too like strong-headed, aggressive, but no.
Not like, oh, I can't wait till this person dies.
It's really good. Anton Yelchin from Star Trek, which I didn't even realize until you brought it up that one time. And I know him from the Fright Night remake.
Oh, yeah, I keep forgetting. He did a great job in that.
That was a good movie. Imogen Poots from, what was she in that a lot of people know? Well, she was in That Awkward Moment with Zac Efron and...
Classic.
Got it. Alicia Sawkat from The Final Girls and Portlandia. Which is a show I really want to see. But yeah, those guys do a great job. I think Anton Yelchin plays a really weak character, but I think he's supposed to act like he's a kid who's really artistic and kind of over his head a little bit, and he tries to be cool, but he keeps fucking up and fumbling, and that's really good. It like makes the movie more realistic because you see him, they give him a shotgun or something, he just keeps missing shot after shot, and it's all like, what the fuck, man? But that adds to the realism of it, and it's really good. I hadn't even talked about Patrick Stewart yet, but Patrick Stewart's fantastic. Holy crap.
Oh, Imogen Poots was also in Fright Night. She was his girlfriend in that one.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Wasn't there two girls in that movie? There was two girls in that movie, wasn't there?
No, it was just the main love interest.
Really?
Girl. I'm pretty sure.
There was two. I thought there was two in that one. I don't remember.
Well then. Their chemistry lives on in another film.
I guess.
Hooray!
Her character's a lot more standoffish and like, I don't want anything to do with you guys, but just fucking survive. She seems like she's kind of too cool to be with these kids.
Yeah, she's the no bullshit, get shit done.
Yeah.
Let's just do this, please.
What do you guys think? I mean, I know, I assumed, I haven't talked to you, saw it, not with us, Carrie. I assumed you liked it.
I did like it. I don't know if I liked it as much as you did, but I think that might have just been my fault for overhyping myself for it. But I did really like the tension, and I really liked how it kind of tackled them being in this punk band and trying to keep up their punk facade, and then when shit hits the fan, they're like, "Fuck it, I'm not punk. I don't want to do this anymore."
It's also like that whole thing falls. Like, they just become kids, and like, what the fuck are we doing? What is all this? Oh my god, yeah, that's really good.
And they really like realize right away, like, we're not getting out of this alive. This is not going to be good. But then they keep.
Yeah, they handle it very well. It's the crowd you're playing. It's like, oh, these guys.
These neo-Nazis.
Typical Nazis.
I don't know about you guys, but I'm getting a bad vibe from these neo-Nazis.
You're being a little judgmental, don't you think?
Well, I mean, they're just kind of crazy, aren't they?
Also, I expected there to be a lot more racial slurs. There's only like one in the whole movie. I was like,
I wasn't looking out for the racial slurs.
Me too. I was like, oh, there it is. It's like at the end of the movie, and by told by Patrick Stewart.
I did not know he would be in this movie. When I saw him, I was like, that can't be Patrick Stewart.
Really? Yeah,
he can't be a Nazi.
Patrick
not
Stewart
in any
does a lot of
universe.
stuff. Turns out he does like a lot of like people like in the industry, like from interviews, like he does like almost anything. If he likes it.
He's definitely one of those guys who's like, oh, this seems cool.
He's got that one show on Starz where he just fucking plays an asshole boss. He just curses and plays like his good Gordon Ramsay impression. But yeah, fantastic movie. Can't recommend it enough. Yeah, really tense. The violence is hard hitting. It's gory, but it doesn't like really like.
It's not gore porn. It's just
it's just this
real.
Is fucking real.
It's meaningful gore because you're like, oh no,
oh god, that's brutal. That was a living person. They're dead. They are fucking dead.
The one that messed me with the most is what happens to Anton Yelchin's arm.
Ooh. That was rough.
I was like, you don't even really see it happen. It just kind of like shows up on screen. You're like, oh, what was that?
His arm's outside of the room, and then it comes back inside.
The best part of that
wound
that it looks. You first look at it, it's like that doesn't look that bad. And then he.
That part of it was like, oh, I don't know if I can get through this.
You're gonna be fine. Oh boy.
Duct tape will fix that right up.
It's fantastic. A great thriller. That's so good. So yeah, those two movies came out at the same time.
That whole studio has been putting out a lot of good stuff.
A24, they have been. They've been doing good work. I think they had like one really bad movie, but they were quick to like just bury it. It's like, what are you talking about? Ex Machina, The Room, The Witch. We got it. We're on it. You know what I'm saying?
Aren't they doing Swiss Army Man?
They're doing
too?
Swiss Army Man.
I'm
yeah,
so excited
they are
for
doing
that movie.
that. Yeah.
They also have one. Everyone has a release date for what's called February. It stars
Emma
Emma
Roberts.
Roberts.
I saw you talking about it.
It looks super interesting, and it got really good reviews at Sundance, and it's apparently about like this like all girls school, and like a girl there like gets possessed by a demon or something, and it's in like the middle of a terrible blizzard, so they're stuck in this school with a demon. I think that's the plot if I'm remembering it correctly, but it looked super tense.
Yeah, it looked
super cool.
Yeah, those guys. It's just people who have really good taste in movies. Like, okay, this is something we can put our name. You get the vibe that like we're gonna be a curated. Except for that one movie that really didn't do well, but
which we won't talk about or name.
I don't even know what it is.
It was probably bad.
Spring Breakers, though, that's a good movie. I like Spring Breakers.
I still never saw that.
That movie is like it's kind of bad, but it's artsy and dumb. It's like once you watch, it's like, well, that was a dumb movie. It's like, well, let me think about it. Oh, okay. All teenagers are terrible garbage people. That's what that movie's about. I got it now. I got it. So that was pretty much it for April. I saw The Huntsman: Winter's War by myself, and.
What'd you think?
Completely forgettable film. I don't even know why it exists. It's Charlize Theron, though. Man, whoever did her makeup, her costume, she looks intense and awesome in that movie. I'd say it's worth those last 5 minutes that she's in the movie, but damn, we need more Charlize Theron. She's great. Aeon Flux ruined her career. Oh, man. But, so yeah, since we are late, we are going to talk about the big movie that came out in the first week of May, which was Captain America, Civil War.
The first Captain American.
The first Captain America. Captain Capitalism, am I right? So yeah, this is, I don't even call it to say it's based on the comic book. I think they kind of took that name, like, these fucking nerds are going to eat this name up. There it is. And it's like, it's kind of got the same themes, but it's not as big of a deal. Like, the stakes aren't that high. The stakes are kind of... It's more a personal stakes between the group. So yeah, this is the Civil War is a film about all your favorite Marvel people that have been in the films so far, except for Black Panther, who's introduced in this movie, and Marvel's Spider-Man. The brand new Spider-Man. Not the old Spider-Man.
Spider-Man's in the movie?
Yeah, Spider-Man. Oh, man. So yeah, a film where the government finally says, United Nations, I guess, not really our government, but the United Nations finally says, yeah, you guys need to, be under control. You could even say it has a lot of parallels with Batman vs. Superman.
I was just thinking that, the part where that lady was like, we've asked ourselves what Superman can do, but not what he should do.
Yeah. There's a lot of parallels, and I think this movie, we'll get into more later when we finish talking about it, but there's a lot of parallels on how to make this story of two superheroes fighting good. And one of them which does it well, and one of them does not.
So we have this whole conflict, but then we realize later in the film that it becomes a little bit more personal. It's especially including the main leaders of the camp, Captain America and Iron Man. Well, once becomes a thing like, well, are we doing the right thing? Becomes a little bit more personal, and it works. A lot of people. My personal take on the movie, a lot of people thought the beginning was a slow burn because there's a lot of talking, it's a lot of dialogue, it's a lot of character building. I personally fucking loved it. This is all I fucking wanted from this series. Flesh out these fucking flashy characters, make them human, and I think it does a good job about that. I guess Scarlet Witch kills that one guy in the beginning of the movie, and that's really where it goes. Spoilers, but Scarlet Witch kills a civilian in the beginning. Well, yeah, she does actually. Kills a civilian, and then she's like, well, fuck, man, who am I? But it's a weird thing for her to realize. She was the villain in the last film. She was a really bad... She was like a villain. She was gonna fuck shit up. But whatever. So some of that stuff doesn't work, but I think what they do with, characters like the Vision, and they really finally, I think, they build more on Iron Man and humanize Captain America a little bit more. Well, maybe. I don't know if I have a hard time buying into the whole Bucky and Captain America thing. I don't know. How do you guys feel about that Captain America-Bucky relationship? I don't. Captain America will do anything for the guy, and I don't really understand why.
I think a main issue with that is the first Captain America film, in my opinion, is the worst of Marvel's films. Crazy. It's really bad, and I feel like if that movie had done better at establishing their relationship, in the 19...
Sure, I agree.
In that era, it would be a lot more... We'd be more invested in that. But I feel like in this film and The Winter Soldier, it was a lot more of he was my best friend. I gotta save him. And we have to kind of just play along with that.
Yeah, and it's okay, I guess.
Maybe it's just he's my only friend left. It's been 100 years. I only have one friend left. Don't take him from me.
Yeah, I guess. It was that the thing? It was the whole, fine, Captain America. We'll fucking deal with your guy, whatever.
Because I feel like if they had played more of, him, trying to grip onto the past... Maybe more, but it was definitely a lot more about he needs to save Bucky. In the end, he doesn't really kind of does that, but that's up to interpretation, I think.
So yeah, that Captain America and Iron Man conflict does get fleshed out a lot more. It leaves things interesting for those two at the end of it. I feel like a lot of people thought this would have really big effect towards the whole thing, and I think... there's an aftermath, but it's not as big as you might think. No. Certainly not as big as that comic book that it's named after.
The comic book, though, was, so insane to the point of it was mad.
Yeah.
There was a robot Thor who was, burning people through the stomach.
Interdimensional fucking
there was
conflict.
Carrie, the prison that was in the movie?
Yeah.
In the book...
Alcatraz floating in the
Yeah, in the book, it's in another dimension.
Oh.
And it has, it's all craziness.
Yeah, and...
It makes no sense in the comic. It makes a little bit more sense in the movie.
This is, super grounded and super, makes sense. So Black Panther, a new character, is introduced to this.
He was, I thought he was the best part of the movie.
Yeah, he was. I loved him.
Oh, my God. I just forgot his name. What's his name? I forgot. I'll come back to me. But, yeah, Black Panther's actor is fantastic. So I was sure that he was going to do a great job, regardless of whatever. Didn't he awesome.
win an Oscar for that?
42?
42.
Did he win an Oscar for 42?
Or maybe a lot of praise from it.
Yeah. Oh man, but yeah, he's great in it. I think they play him off as a very different character in the beginning than he is towards the rest of the film. He seems like a lot more inexperienced and unsure character than we are led on to believe, because something that happened at the beginning of the movie. But
he really is kind of like the antithesis to the whole situation between them, because his whole, I think it's pretty obvious in the trailer, and plus he's on Iron Man's side, that he wants to take down Bucky, and the movie explains that, and then in the end, he, unlike Captain America and Iron Man, who are still, bitching at each other, he really, grows up and just kind of moves on from the situation, instead of having this anger kind of consume him like it did with both Captain America and Iron Man, which is super human and super cool.
Yeah, and the villain for this movie, I guess, is a little... Well, he's not interesting for the whole movie until the end. It's like, at least that's a human motivation than these other fucking villains that we've had that just want to wreck shit because it's fun.
In the comics, he was like a Hydra,
Oh yeah, he's got a suit and he's got
he's like a crazy Hydra agent who's been around for years. But in this movie, he's just kind of a guy.
That's my dude over there, Baron Zemo.
Who they just gave the name Baron Zemo to be like, shut up, you comic book nerds. You're a bunch of nerds.
Yeah.
And this goes into the parallels with Batman v Superman, because him and Lex Luthor had the exact same plot, Pit the villains against pit the heroes against
each other. Yeah.
But in Lex Luthor's world, that turned into becoming a psychopath who's sending jars of piss to people and creating a giant rock monster.
Yeah.
And then this one guy who's just in the snow crying, all super sad, because he knows that doing this isn't going to solve his problems.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Which is awesome.
I would say that Batman vs Superman asks a lot bigger questions and fumbles completely at asking them. Civil War hints at that bigger question, but kind of doesn't really answer it at all, but they don't fail at attempting. Batman vs Superman thinks they answered the question, and they absolutely didn't. Because there's that one scene once the leader of the UN approaches them hey, this is why we think you need to do that. And that moment works. Okay, this makes sense, but they don't really touch on that. Then it just becomes kind of just my team is better than your team kind of thing. It's kind of just a fucking whose dick is bigger between Captain America and Iron Man. But yeah, Spider-Man's in this fucking movie.
Yeah.
So Spider-Man's in this fucking movie. He's played by Tom Holland. Aunt May played by
Marissa Tomei.
Marissa Tomei. God bless her.
He does
Ryan, you want to talk about Spider-Man?
Oh my god, I love Spider-Man. And I love Spider-Man. So I've always loved Spider-Man. He's my favorite superhero.
Ryan likes Spider-Man.
I really love Spider-Man.
I'm just gonna sit back.
Let's end the podcast right here. I love Spider-Man. That's it. But yeah, he does a really good job playing a more teenaged Spider-Man.
Yeah, young kid.
It reminds me a lot of more of the animated cartoon Spider-Mans. He feels very kind of grounded in
Spectacular or Ultimate?
Spectacular.
Okay.
Ultimate is not a good series.
It's not a good show.
I've tried it several times. Drake Bell, I kind of love that guy. He does not do a good job. I mean, I love parts of him.
You like that he tweets mean things at Justin Bieber. That's what you like
I mean,
about Drake Bell.
I mean, that's funny. Drake and Josh was good, and then he tweeted transphobic things once, and he became problematic again. And I don't want my Spider-Man to be problematic.
This has been a PSA for Ryan.
But anyways, it's hard. The weird thing to me is Tony Stark. They start forming the team, and Tony Stark's like, I know what I'm going to do. I'm going to get the best guy out there. He goes to a kid's apartment in Queens, and is like, I'm going to make you a hero. Forget Daredevil, forget Jessica Jones. I want this kid, an experienced child,
It's
on my
true.
team.
You'd think that Tony Stark has tabs on those guys. He has tabs on this kid.
Yeah,
Or whatever.
And yeah, they do a lot better explaining with the suit, with the little... I was really annoyed at the eyes in the trailer, how they kind of zoom.
It takes a little bit to adjust to Spider-Man.
Yeah.
He looks not real.
He definitely looks CGI.
He looks
in a lot
super.
Of parts.
Was this done in post? All of it?
But
Was he even in this
no,
movie?
it's
Really?
real and it's weird.
Because he looks really that's a Spider-Man ass look at Spider-Man. I took a cartoon Spider-Man and put him in this fucking movie. It looks weird.
We got our animators to draw him right on it there.
Frame by frame.
Last minute decision. He's in the movie.
But yeah, so my 2 cents on Spider-Man. I liked him. I think he's good, but I also thought he was fucking annoying. We really did come off as a kid, and he just kept. His wisecracks did not come out as charming as more as they did just the dumb kid doesn't know. So I look forward for the movies to maybe beat him up a little, like the Spider-Man movies, like beat him up a little bit, and like, hey.
I'm pretty sure he's been beat up enough with watching his uncle die. All the other.
But we don't even know if he's dead in this universe.
I mean,
we can assume.
We're pretty sure he's dead.
We can assume, but I don't know.
But I really want to watch that origin story again, though.
Yeah.
I need that.
Maybe Marissa Tomei's Aunt May just realized that she was too hot for this Uncle Ben.
He's not dead. She just divorced him.
Yeah. Maybe.
Martin Sheen, get out of here. I don't want you.
Yes. It's still Martin Sheen.
You are terrible. No, he was good as Uncle Ben.
Nah, he was okay.
I still think I prefer Andrew Garfield's Spider-Man.
Yeah, he was a good Spider-Man.
He was a very good Spider-Man.
I felt bad for that guy, but this kid, he's fine.
He does a good job in the movie, and
I'm
they
excited.
give him
he looks like he's 14 years old.
Yeah, which will be good
but
for the future and going into it. Do you want to talk about the big fight scene in the movie?
The
big crazy one.
It's fun. It's really good. It's fun. I like how it's a lot more, I guess, comprehensible than like what happened in Age of Ultron. I think Age of Ultron was a little bit much.
It
was
madness.
Huge spectacle. Even though this is still a bunch of superheroes fighting, it's a little bit more contained and grounded. Like the rest of the whole movie, it's really cool. Ant-Man comes back for this, and he's great. Paul Rudd is fantastic.
Yeah, he's amazing.
Paul Rudd's awesome. I think they did some revisions to his suit. Am I crazy?
Yeah. His suit looks modern instead of
it looks dumb.
Like it was made in 1970.
That's what it looks like. He doesn't look like an ant. He looks dumb.
Oh,
He's not an ant.
That's not an ant.
This isn't an ant at all.
But yeah. Also, going back to Black Panther, I think everyone liked him, but just because he looks fucking cool as fuck. He's just so cool. And Chadwick Boseman is he just looks awesome. Like I want to like him. He's so cool. Mostly because he's so different and not white and cool. I don't know. I'm excited for his movie. But yeah, the way that I like how this movie ends, I like how it's more human, how it's more grounded. Carrie, what do you want to say about this guy?
I mean, I still, whenever we see these movies, I feel like I'm not watching a real movie, and that's probably wrong of me. Like, I don't look at it as critically.
No, I agree as well.
Because I'm just like, this is just...
It feels like a commercial product. Or
yeah.
Like a cartoon. It doesn't feel like...
And I'm not emotionally invested in them at all, even though I've seen most of the movies, but I don't have that nostalgia for them, so it's just... I just see these movies as good time factories.
Yeah, it's like the way they produce them and get them out and market them, it's hard to feel that. I feel that way sometimes with some like the bigger video games that I enjoy as well. Because it's still a movie, but it doesn't feel like, they do a lot. They have a formula.
Yeah, I was going to say, it's very formulaic. They follow the pattern, and then...
But I still like how it's a lot more grounded and human.
Well, yeah.
And, man, can we give a shout-out to the fucking title font where they went... Because this movie takes place in multiple places of the world, and they're like, Brazil, like, that font looked really nice and clean, and I liked it a lot.
I agree.
Man,
I enjoy this vision.
I was so happy when the font was like, Queens. It's like, oh, man, Spider-Man's coming out. I don't know. You were saying it was formulaic. I kind of disagree with that. It kind of like goes against the grain in like weird ways.
I think
especially like the end thing.
I think the key is that it's not an Avengers movie. It does.
That's good.
That Captain America title does feel like it feels like a Captain America. It feels a lot less.
It feels like a Captain America movie in the beginning and end. In the middle, like towards like the big fight scene.
Yeah, it gets lost a little bit.
It gets lost a little, but I think that works fine. And I don't know, because going into it, you think that big airport scene's going to be the final thing.
It's not even. It's like the fun. Really the only fun part of the movie. We're like, yeah jokes,
jokes. What the hell's with that?
Yeah, meet me out behind the airport at 4:00, punk.
And then we get to the last battle. It's like,
the last battle is like, oh, they're pissed at each other.
That part's awesome. That part's pretty good.
Really
I like that last part.
It felt a lot more human than a lot more.
I love it.
Last scenes, which are usually pretty fun, but this was just like, oh man. These guys are both cool. And,
I don't know.
And Baron Zemo's out there fucking crying, and T'Challa's like, I'm so mad at myself for getting pissed at the situation.
Like, I don't know. Like,
I joined the Avengers. I hate those guys.
I assume it's the new the directors, but I just like, how did these guys manage to get more control than Joss Whedon? I don't know, because I think this is way fucking better than any of the Avengers films.
Yeah, definitely.
I was like, I would genuinely watch that again, and I cannot say that about a lot of them, except Guardians of the Galaxy, because Guardians of the Galaxy is fucking incredible. Holy fucking shit. That movie's good.
It's definitely one of the better Marvel movies.
I think out of the Marvel Studios stuff, it's really fucking,
that's
fucking good. It's really fucking good. So yeah, that's everything for April in that first week of May. We're not talking about Mother's Day. I know we're Jason Sudeikis fans.
We failed you.
Really upset about it.
Our demographic is gone.
I was actually listening to the radio. Some caller was talking about that. It was, oh, it's a really nice movie.
It was probably my mom. She saw that movie.
So yeah, that's the movies of April. So let's talk about May, which has a lot of not a lot of big stuff. But first we got High Rise, which is I guess it is a smaller movie. It's got Tom Hiddleston. It's based on the book of the same name, High Rise, about these panopticon building where everyone lives inside this building, and it's fucking dystopian. Fucking, of course, it's panopticon, where like each level is like a class, like an actual a bar of like class. Like if you're like poverty, you're on the bottom, and like if you're on top. I had never read the book, but from the film, it looks really out there. I mean, it's got Tom Hiddleston in an independent film, so it's kind of gonna be out there. He's gonna be naked, probably like hugging a sheep or something, and lamenting. It's gonna like. It looks.
That's a little too.
It looks like some mild David Lynch-esque tones, like some weird like. I'm sure there's gonna be some like really out there weird scenes, like what I mentioned, and I'm totally down for that. I'm totally down for that weird fucking shit, and that's why I'm looking forward to it.
It's gonna be fun.
I'm not crazy, but the concept, and I think we'll see how it is. I'm sure the book is great, but I don't know how they'll handle that concept. It looks fun. I'm really looking forward to it. Visually, it looks great.
Yeah, I was gonna say it looks like a very striking film. Like when he's in the trailers, when he's walking around and he has that blue paint on him. Like, for some reason, it's just like so beautiful.
The colorful, the architecture, like the decor. Yeah. That's what
it's gonna be a very striking film.
Man, I don't know anything about this movie.
Really, we saw the trailer in the green room.
We did?
Yeah.
Oh no! I totally forgot.
It wasn't that. Well, actually, there was another trailer in green room a movie that I want to watch. I don't know if anyone wants to watch it, but. Belladonna and Sadness? Did you remember that?
I would see that.
That movie looks fucking dope.
The animated, like, what did they call it?
The weird...
that one.
The Japanese animated movie about the woman.
I would see the hell out of that. That looks awesome.
Dope.
That looked like an acid trip gone wrong.
So yeah, I guess we can talk about...
Right.
So,
man.
Belladonna and Sadness, which is this Japanese film from, I think, the 60s or 70s, it was like not released publicly. I think it was released after the fact it was made. Someone like acquired the rights to it, and now it's seeing a clean HD 4K remaster. I know nothing about it. It seems to be like about this woman and some sort of either spiritual journey that she goes to. It looks really trippy, and the colors look fantastic, and the way it is drawn does not. I mean, it's Japanese, but not. Japanese in a commercial.
It goes against like a lot of. Like,
it doesn't look. You look at this like there's no way someone would sell this commercially.
It like messes with traditional film structure. Like,
yeah,
it looks like it's just a weird
like watercolor.
It's hard to describe it.
It looks like flipping through a sketchbook.
Yeah,
almost.
Definitely. Yeah. Like again, you look at this like this is not a commercial. No one in the 60s or 70s is going to maybe, but not in Japan. I don't think anyone's going to sign off on this. It looks like a really feminist movie. Like it looks like a movie about sexuality. It looks really dope. Really looking forward to that.
Yeah, I'll see that.
That comes out in May by us. Speaking about feminism, we got Neighbors 2, Sorority Rising.
Oh man,
there it is. This is the sequel to the Neighbors movie starring Zac Efron and
Seth Rogen.
And what was the brother's name? The fucking
Dave Franco.
Dave Franco.
Oh,
Everybody loves Dave Franco. And Rose Byrne. Rose Byrne and
I like her.
Yeah, Rose Byrne. I like Rose Byrne a lot. Rose Byrne and Seth Rogen move into this house, and it's next to a sorority. But this time, it's years after that film, and they're about to sell that house that they lived in. But then a new sorority moves in. It's a bunch of girls, and it seems like the whole thing that leads to it because they can't have a girl-only sorority. And I'm sure they're going to touch upon how sororities are just absolutely...
That was my favorite part about
Right.
Neighbors 1 was
the messaging.
was the message of fraternities.
Fraternities are terrible, and the fucking
how they have dick
attitudes
measuring
men have in college
contests.
are absolutely disgusting. It leads to rape and all this stuff. But it seems like that's
good, happy time movie. Everyone should
But
see.
yeah, I don't know.
I liked Neighbors. I thought it was a very
Neighbors is a mess.
I thought it was a very okay movie.
I think it felt
personally.
like a movie that they shot it and then they did a bad job at editing it all together. Because
when we saw the trailers for that movie, I knew my favorite part was going to be all the airbag jokes, and I feel like they showed all the airbag jokes in the trailer.
Yeah.
So I
They
was
showed
like,
all the good
I
There was like 2 more.
Ah,
that were very
shit! I'm going to go watch it.
Here, you gotta put it in right now.
Gotta get that airbag humor.
But it
it's
wasn't.
pretty good humor.
Neighbors
It's
wasn't.
fast. It's good stuff.
Neighbors wasn't a movie I assumed going as a man. The sequel that they're eventually going to make is going to really up the stakes.
I mean, if you're gonna make a female-led movie about sororities, and you don't like, I'm assuming because you cannot make that movie and not touch on that, especially if it's Chloe Grace Moretz, who is this person that people really like, and they see her as a positive figure, and she's doing this movie, and it's like, well, you cannot have this movie without touching on that, how awful sororities are, and if it's you can't do that. I'm pretty sure I read reviews like, yeah, they touch on this, like, yeah, that's the whole movie. That's the whole movie's about. It's about being a modern woman.
The trailer was all like this. Selena Gomez is like in charge of sorority, and she's like trying to make it like be all fancy. And Chloe Grace Moretz's character is like, oh, I want to party, so she starts her own sorority.
That's what it is. Yes.
That moves in next door, and all they do is party.
And then Sith was like, we are old.
And then like the joke's like, oh, look at all these girls in bikinis in the front lawn. Oh, jeez.
Spray them with the hose. Oh no, you're making them hotter.
This isn't open. Oh no.
Jokes. I hope it's good. I mean, The Neighbors came out after This Is the End, which I thought was fantastic.
That movie's hilarious.
And that's why I was so disappointed when Neighbors was just like, this isn't very good. Because it's the same team and same writers and everyone. And it's just... And I expected something smarter because fucking hell, they were going to get the Uncharted franchise at one point.
Oh, really?
Yeah, they were going to make the Uncharted movie at one point.
Who are we gonna do to make our movies?
Seth
Gotta
Rogen.
get that Neighbors team. They know how to make films.
Yeah, that's true.
So I think this will be an okay movie.
I'm optimistic. And I am usually a curmudgeon, so I'm...
Mr. Ratchet and Clank's gonna be the worst movie of the year.
Sure, yeah. So, yeah, Neighbors 2. I'm way more looking forward to it than I thought I would be. Angry Birds. Why is this on this list? I don't
Every
know.
kid's favorite actors. Bill Hader, Danny McBride, they're all here.
Why is the
Everyone's favorite.
The cast for this movie is way too fucking funny and good for this.
It's got
Kate McKinnon.
No,
That's got Kate McKinnon.
It's got the
Yeah,
Key
it
and
does.
Peele guy.
It does have, it's got...
Name a good comedian, they're in it.
Yeah, you pretty much can't name him.
Josh Gad is ruining my life again.
I think Josh Gad's... He's done.
He's done.
Oh, he had so much potential.
Ryan, you need to let him go.
He's got...
jeez, no! Start over the podcast.
I feel like... I don't know, maybe... yeah, it's done. He's done.
That's a shame.
He's done.
Because again, if you look at his old forensic stuff, his old speeches, he is amazing.
Yeah.
He's amazing.
I
He's so
believe you.
amazing.
I believe
and
you.
funny. And yet he's doing movies with Adam Sandler, and he's doing all these animated things. Oh,
Yeah.
such a wasted...
Hey, you know what?
I'm depressed
He's
again.
got a family. He's young. He's got to make money. Whatever.
He's got that juice in him. He's ready to go. Oh, what?
So I don't
Will
know.
this be a good
Are
movie,
we,
George?
Are we actually even going to fucking see this movie?
Oh, we're seeing Angry Birds.
That's
George.
why I'm like, why
If you
is
make me go to Angry Birds, I'm making you go to Alice in Wonderland. Fuck
Oh,
you.
don't worry, it's happening. No,
I'm
we
gonna
are
put
going
money
to
on the
Angry
Angry Birds movie. Will
Birds.
probably be better than Alice in Wonderland. But
I don't know what you're talking about.
I mean, the source material is so brilliant.
they're birds and they're angry.
Yeah.
And they're pigs.
And
And
they're
they're
pigs, they
And
want
they're
it.
pigs.
And, jeez.
Also, I feel so bad for Sony Animation Studios because they made Cloudy with a Chance of Meatballs, and their animation's good, but they're owned by Sony, and they just get
that's always a bad thing.
Sony in general just doesn't give a fuck. Like, they made the Smurfs movie, they made Angry Birds, they made Hotel Transylvania was actually pretty good. They're making an Emoji movie.
Oh, man, I'm back in.
Surfs Up 2 with
I'm back out.
WWE characters as penguins.
Wait, back in.
So yeah, I feel bad for them. Maybe it will be good. I don't think it will, but actually no, I really don't think it will.
I cannot wait for the Angry Birds movie to be the first good video game movie. When this was announced like 3 years ago, I was like, this is it. This is what filmmaking has been waiting for.
It's all been leading up
It's
to
all
this.
been leading to this.
God, how time.
When he shot A Trip to the Moon 100 years ago, he knew that
he
there would be
won.
he knew that it'd come to this.
George Méliès?
Yes, George Méliès.
Uncultured swine.
I always forget his last name. I'm sorry.
But yeah, Angry Birds. Angry Birds, you know who else is angry? Magneto!
Oh, he's back again! Up to more trouble after the
He's still
movie.
kind of upset, but not really. But
Man,
he's
get
got,
over it.
He's
You
got
were the
really
Holocaust.
radical
Oh,
thoughts
jeez.
on things. A new X-Men movie, Apocalypse. It's X-Men Apocalypse. It's got the Starman. I forgot his name. I'm
Oscar Isaac?
Yeah, I am terrible at names. That's the thing we're going with.
Was Starman your way of being like the guy from Star Wars?
Yes. No, not David Bowie. It does not have the ghost of David Bowie. It does not have the ghost
X-Men Apocalypse, starring David Bowie.
What? I'm not going now.
So, yes, X-Men Apocalypse is the third film in the new series of X-Men movies.
Which is connected to the old series
Which is connected
very
to
loosely.
And by loosely, I mean they completely abandoned all those movies and started something new
Yeah.
so they could end it. I don't know. Whatever.
Yeah, I was just gonna say, right as we started talking about this, I realized I do not remember anything that happened in the last movie and where we are in the timeline.
They completely wiped the timeline. That's
Okay. Okay, so we're like starting over.
Yes.
Oh, okay.
Again.
Yeah, they wiped the timeline. Then it takes place in the 80s now.
Okay, I have one important question. Are we gonna get to see Hugh Jackman's ass in this movie?
Hugh Jackman, I don't think he's in this movie.
He is in the movie.
Is
The last trailer, they had like a Spider-Man theme last trailer. Like, where have you guys been? Oh, we ran into someone, and then like, and then just you don't see him, but you see like some claws get extended.
I didn't know that. Oh, cool.
Yeah, that was in the last trailer.
Nice.
Oh yeah, I
Nice.
do. Right, I do remember that part where Hugh Jackman's
Nice.
ass was in that one part.
Yeah.
Yeah,
The
very
first 10
Terminator,
minutes.
very Terminator-esque. I love when he shows up the best, like, oh, time to show my ass. I hate the X-Men movies.
I know you do.
I absolutely hate them. I do not like the X-Men characters. I like Wolverine mostly because Hugh Jackman's amazing.
Got a great
I'm gonna
ass.
say
He's got
First Class is probably the only good movie.
I like Quicksilver, but he's more of an Avenger, and he was really good in the last one. He was my favorite part of the last
That
one.
part was good.
I have both those actors wearing Kick-Ass.
Yeah.
And now
The one
they
guy's the one
both
people
play
like.
Quicksilver.
They both played Quicksilver.
Right.
One of them gets to play Quicksilver for a lot longer.
Oh my god! But Jubilee oh my god! She looks fantastic. They got 80s. They're in the 80s. They got 80s X-Men costumes. I can't fucking wait for that one part where they're dressed up in 80s X-Men costumes. It's gonna look fantastic.
They're not going to because it's Bryan Singer.
Ryan, I saw the trailer. I saw the costume. It looks incredible.
Okay.
Oh my
maybe
God.
for
She's
maybe
gonna
for
do
her,
the color.
but for everyone. Wolverine. He's been playing Wolverine for like 16 years, and he's not donned that stupid yellow costume.
I literally just want to see the
If
80s
he's-
X-Men.
if
The
he-
orange costume. The orange costume.
Oh.
He brings out the orange costume.
I swear, if he's donned that yellow costume by his last movie, I'm going to be so
This is
mad.
the last one. All signs point that this movie's going to underperform, and it's not doing well critically, and I think that's going to be it, probably.
I mean, good, because I'm tired of
I'm
this
sure
franchise.
Deadpool is just Deadpool. I'm sure there's going to be fodder for a Deadpool series. It's like, hey, Wolverine, hey, fucker!
I mean, they are making a third Wolverine, and it's going to be R-rated.
Yeah, I know.
Which seems very... I mean, it's
So
about time.
the chances are even higher for
Maybe
Hugh
we'll see
Jackman's
his
ass.
dick!
Holy
Oh!
My favorite thing about Hugh Jackman is how he talks about how he really hates all of the muscle he has to keep for these movies. Because he has to lose it, because he's got some other roles he does, so he has to lose it and gain it back and lose it and gain it back again. And I think that's really funny. He's just like a tortured man. He's like, please stop.
Yeah, but then after he does
do
that
this.
Wolverine movie, he's like, oh, man, this is so much fun. I love being Wolverine.
Well, yeah, he
I
really
love
likes
being
it.
angry. Ah!
But then he's got to like bulk up, and then his wife hates it apparently, or whatever. I don't know. So yeah, X-Men. I have very little expectations, but I had no expectations for Days of Future Past, and I think that's a solid movie.
I thought it was terrible and it was
for
terrible.
what that movie was about. For what them, you gotta admit it. For what they did at that movie, they did it pretty well. They literally took the entire timeline and wrote over it and then voided it. It was pretty good.
I mean, you could say that, but again, that's another thing of like.
They
it's a
also
huge
killed Patrick
fuck you.
Stewart and fucking yeah. So you may count. So whatever.
It's like it's like we want to prove that we're better than Marvel by having all of our movies and making for years to connect to each other. But because it doesn't make any sense, we're just gonna wipe it clean in the most vague way possible.
Mm-hmm.
You fucking know Kitty Pryde? Yeah, she can travel people back in time now. Could she do that? Who cares? She just does, okay? And you know what? Now Hugh Jackman's in the past when he's going crazy and he's butt naked and he's going all bad. And you know what? Who gives a shit? Man.
Days of Future Past is
not a great
alright
film.
movie. It is an alright movie.
Man.
It's the most comic booky movie I think out of all. It's so dumb. But yeah. Carrie, Alice in the Through the Looking Glass.
I'm excited as fuck because that we were talking about it after podcast last time how the first one came out at the perfect time when everyone was all emo and everything.
Yeah, totally.
And they're like,
I don't know
Tim Burton, Alice in Wonderland, put it in the Hot Topics. These kids will love it.
Fucking nuts.
I love that.
That movie was like, I think it was weird because I thought like movies were going to be on an uptick because that was after Avatar, which was another movie that made $1 billion. I think the first Alice, I don't blame them for making a sequel, but it's late because that movie made $1 billion. That movie made $1 billion. Again, it was a sign of times. People were like, Hot Topic was doing very well. My Chemical Romance still didn't release Dangerous Days, whatever the fuck that album was called. I don't fucking know. Panic at Disco was still more than one dude.
Times were good for everyone, really.
Yeah, it was great.
Let's harken back to those days. Panic at the Disco has a new album now, so let's put out Alice Through the Looking Glass. I'm excited because I just really.
So does this follow the book? Because if I recall, I might be off. In that book, she is in a mental institution because they think she's fucking insane.
Yeah,
right.
I think that is it, but I haven't read that book since elementary school.
And this
so
isn't directed by Tim Burton, is it?
No.
Okay.
Produced. It's directed by some random.
So now
guy.
some guy's copying the worst of Tim Burton.
Yeah,
that's good.
I mean, it's got Andrew Scott in it though. I love Andrew Scott. He was in Victor Frankenstein. He's the eye patch guy with the wooden hand. He plays the doctor in the women's hospital. He's like, it's just a standard case of female hysteria. It's gonna be fun.
What's the main theme? Alice. She's in what?
She was in Crimson Peak.
Yes, that's what I thought.
Oh, it's that girl.
Yeah.
Crimson Peak. I feel like I feel more fondly about that movie than I was when I walked out of that. I don't know why.
Definitely.
Maybe because
it kind of tricked you into what it was
art
about.
for that movie was fucking
It's
phenomenal. Holy fucking shit.
And the ghost design is really good.
Yeah, like the art style, the architect. Oh god, Guillermo del Toro is really good at art. Like he choosing his people. Like, yo, this is what I want. Make it. That fucking movie. The house fucking oozed red fucking wax.
The walls will ooze red clay.
It's kind of wonderfully. It's kind of awesome. It's kind of awesome. Kind of cool, but yeah, Alice. So do you think this is gonna be good? Like, what do you want out of this movie? Because you enjoyed Alice in Wonderland, right?
Yeah, I do. I do really like the first one, even though it's kind of like overly dumb.
I never watched the first one. I remember I liked the original as a kid.
Well, yeah.
But then I saw the weird mess of CGI that this was, and I was like, I don't.
The first one.
Their heads are so weird. Carrie.
The Tim Burton Alice in Wonderland isn't obviously her going when she's a child. It's her going as like a 20-something, and she's about to get married to this dude she doesn't want to get married to. And then she goes back to Wonderland, and then she starts remembering the events that happened when she was a kid.
So it's not.
It's not a remake of the first one. It's like a sequel-ish, because she's down there, and everyone's like, "Alice, you're back," and she's like, "Who are you, Tweedledee? I don't know you." And it's one of those roll out the long scroll of the prophecy, and the caterpillar's like, "She's gonna fight the Jabberwocky." You know?
Man, I don't know how I feel about that.
The weirdest part of the movies is that it's not actually called Wonderland, it's called Underland, but she just called it the wrong thing because she was a child when she went there.
Man, that's some Tim Burton shit.
I mean, on paper, a Tim Burton Alice in Wonderland should be good. Because Alice in Wonderland is a book, it is a fucking weird mess of the author projecting their weird psychosexual thoughts and shit. And I would want someone like fucking him or David Lynch or the fucking director of fucking Requiem for a Dream to make an Alice in Wonderland movie.
Jeez.
That guy made Noah. Man, what the
What
fuck?
happened to him?
I don't know.
No, what happened to Noah?
That Noah movie was weird. They had ancient rock golem gods, and I appreciated that. That was the most.
going out of the way to introduce.
That was the
rock
most
golem
Requiem
god.
for a Dream ass thing in that movie. The rest was like fucking whatever. So yeah, that's May. I'm looking forward to. Well, I guess High Rise. I don't know. I think it's gonna be fine. I guess
I think that's the one I'm looking forward to.
I hope that one delivers.
Like realistically, like I'm looking forward to Alice Through the Looking Glass for purely shallow reasons of I want to see Johnny Depp again as the Mad Hatter, but High Rise I think will be a better movie than
I hope so.
Angry Birds all the way, man. I don't know about you guys. That's gonna be the movie we're all gonna be talking about at the end of the month. We're gonna be like, man, really underappreciated film. Piece of art. Really.
the most underrated bird movie of all time.
Underrated.
The Birds by Alfred Hitchcock. That's shit
That
compared
is
to Angry
garbage.
Birds.
Move out of the way, bird movies.
Oh gosh.
Alfred Hitchcock's The Birds is the shit on your rearview window that a bird left.
Shut the fuck up.
Compared to the Angry Birds movie.
Shut the. Okay. Well. All right.
And that's a podcast.
Yeah. That was April for Movies Are Real. I'm George.
I am Carrie.
I'm Ryan.
Bye.